A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed, and welcome back to yet another countdown for Nerf Secrets Revealed. Of course, this one won't be as long as many of the others around here, but this is only to show exactly how well certain blasters out there could be in terms of price tags. Speaking of price tags, the last episode of Nerf Secrets Revealed detailed on steaming surveys, focusing on questions that are related to Nerf price tags in general. But in this case here, for a countdown that relates to price tags online or in the stores, really is quite a big trend out here that I just so happen to come over for about. And I hope that it does turn into a pretty awesome trend. Because of course, to talk about price tags more than to talk about everything else here on Nerf Secrets Revealed is really going to be a buzz that I hope to come across every single day, every time I watch any of my own episodes. So, without further ado, here we are with the top 12 considerable online price tags for Nerf blasters of any type. So, let's get started around here, shall we? Number 12, the Disruptor. Now the Disruptor, of course, is a somewhat unusual blaster that we haven't really seen coming around here so far, but if you look around on eBay nowadays, but in my case, I found it on an average with a price tag of only $15.84. And that, of course, mostly just includes the blaster itself, but occasionally on other sellings of the blaster itself would also come with darts or even attachments or even other bonus extras for that matter. Number 11, the Night Finder. The Night Finder does sell for an average of $14.87 in contrast to the Disruptor, but yet on eBay, that's just an average, $14.87 for one end strike Night Finder. I still feel like that it's not that well done of a deal because the Night Finder, of course, is a much older blaster out there, yet it's a much smaller blaster out there. I am mostly talking about the smaller blasters around here in this case, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on because $14.87 would not make for a great deal for the Night Finder itself. Number 10, the Dual Strike. The Dual Strike does sell for a price tag of only around $14 even, not a cent above or down. But in relevance to that though, the Dual Strike does have itself the good old function of switching from elite darts to mega darts on the same blaster with the use of a switch that can control the airflow from the plunger tube and can be channeled through to elite darts or mega darts. $14 even though, I probably wouldn't be too cool with that, to be honest. Number 9, the Persuader. It was a small Doomlance blaster that is actually still part of my collection to this day. But yet, even though it has been out of my collection for some time in favor of putting in some newer blasters towards my collection, the Persuader did have itself a decent price tag of somewhere over $10. But on eBay, of course, it does sell for nearly the same amount, $10.99. Even though these can apply to either cost and shipping or even free shipping on eBay or Amazon or wherever else you would sell your Persuader for, it really just all depends. But for a price tag of $10.99 on average, in my case, which that I have looked on eBay for certain Persuader models out there to get, it would be not too exciting in any way. Just to have a blaster that sells for $10.99 on average like that. Number 8, the Tech Shot. Now I can let the Tech Shot go for a little while now because its age is around 16 years old. 2003 was where the Tech Shot had originally come out. It originally shot the original Mega Darts, which were in yellow and purple, or it shot Streamline Darts or any other type of darts that you'd use. There were 2 variations of the Tech Shot, of course, of which that they shot either of these types of ammo. But nonetheless, it is still a heck of a ride coming up from this whole way for 16 long years for the Tech Shot to finally be of some value. Though, for a price tag of $9.99 on average, only $10, I almost felt like the Tech Shot would be worth some more, but I might as well cut it some slack compared to some others just for its age of 16 years of age. Number 7, the Mega Big Shot. an older blaster of the Mega lineup, the Big Shot, of course, did have its reputation of being the smallest blaster so far for the Mega lineup, but I can't really say. It's too safe to say that even though it does have itself a price tag of around $9.99 in the same way that the Tech Shot would sell for $9.99, the Big Shot, of course, does not really seem to have as much value as the Tech Shot itself would. But the Big Shot, of course, once again, it gets some excuses put to it just because of its size and the fact that it had a smaller price tag in contrast to some of the other Mega Dart blasters out there in the marketplace. I still feel like the Big Shot could get itself some more value to it, or some less value to it, depending on how the condition is to the blaster. Number 6, the Modulus Ion Fire. The Modulus Ion Fire, of course, was another smaller blaster for the Modulus lineup, but yet it still had the ability to apply barrel attachments or stock attachments to it thanks to both of these parts being on the Ion Fire itself. Same would be said with tactical attachment rails on the top and sides, but yet it really doesn't really do all too well in there based on the price tag there. It would do better though with this particular price tag of only $9.61 for the blaster itself and all of its accessories, plus the clip and darts. Now that is what you call a somewhat outstanding achievement out there in terms of selling a blaster online just like that. Number 5, the Ricochet. Now the Ricochet, of course, was part of the Zombie Strike lineup, with the addition of the use of vortex discs to be fired outside of the blaster. And of course it was a one-shot disc launcher, but yet it was still pretty decent at the time. It didn't really do all too well in contrast to many other Zombie Strike lineups around that same time of day and age, but yet for $9.34, being that it was a much older blaster in the Zombie Strike lineup compared to some newer blasters we have in the lineup today, the Ricochet, of course, does have itself some decent value to it, while at the same time still retaining some cheaper prices because of its size, and because of its very low capacity of only one disc per use. Number 4, the Modulus Stock Shot. Another Modulus blaster out there that also doubles as its own attachment, the Stock Shot really does have itself a good use of firing up to 4 darts. A capacity of 4 darts, each will be fired once at a time, but yet it was still that pretty good around there at the time. Of course though, what we're talking about here is that it does better than many of the other blasters I've mentioned on this list so far because of its price tag of $7.64 on average. $7.64 on average. That's much lower than the price that you would normally get if it were still out in the market today, brand new in box. But yet, the Stock Shot itself really does well, maintaining this kind of lower price. So it's still a pretty good deal, a deal that's worth getting 2 thumbs up for me especially. Number 3, the Reflex. The Reflex is a much older blaster than many of the others on this list, except for the Tech Shot, which is still older than all of the blasters around here. But the Reflex, being that it was a much older blaster from somewhere around the middle age of the N-Strike lineup, around the early 2010s, just before the days of the N-Strike Elite lineup started coming around, the Reflex also had itself a capacity of only 1 dart, but yet, I mentioned it as a blaster being higher up on the list simply because of its price tag. $7.49. $7.49. It's just not at all too well in contrast. But compared to many other blasters I mentioned on this list, the Reflex does have itself a much better deal than many of the other blasters here that could be smaller than the Reflex, but at the same time, the Reflex does itself pretty good luck in terms of selling online at only $7.49, just like that. Number 2, the Elite XD Style Jolt. The Elite XD Style Jolt, of course, is not actually known as the Jolt. Instead, it has itself another name, which somehow I forgot. I applied it myself, but yeah, I forgot about the name in general. So, of course, this blaster here has itself some of the same color scheming as the original N-Strike Jolt, as the Jolt itself has had orange on it, but yet it's had itself the addition of gray and black for the most part. But this kind of design of a Jolt blaster, like this one here from the Elite XD lineup, it does shoot itself much further than the Jolt did, but yet, to talk about its price tag on eBay or Amazon or otherwise, it's a pretty astounding average of $6.79, even when new in a box. Now, you can just say for yourself, that's a pretty decent price tag right there. But yet, at the same time, it's probably not at all too well compared to many other blasters out there we've seen. But you're going to want to get ready, because number one is an astounding series right there. There are 3 Triad style blasters that sell for $6.50. $6.50 for 3 Triad style blasters. Now normally, of course, when the Triad was out in the market for the first time back in 2012, it of course had itself a price tag of up to $8. But to see 3 Triad style blasters, of course, sell for only $6.50 on average on eBay with not at all that many listings out there is still a rare treatment. Yeah, it's a very cheap one right there. It's that awesome. It's just gotten that well right there to have multiple blasters sell for a very low price tag just like that. And that's really something that any collector out there would like to have at some point. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that countdown right there, and I hope that you comment down below what would be the cheapest price tag you ever saw in a blaster in your whole lifetime. And, of course, I hope that you stick around for more content, and I hope that you stick around for more episodes of Nerf Secret Revealed, because I am not at all quite done yet. Not with this season. We're still around here, and it's probably going to be around a little while longer. So, why don't brace yourself here for the final moments of Nerf Secret Revealed Season 6. If you want to see more, go down to my channel though. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.